First kisses, going public, and putting bullies in their place. So much going on here, so much to unpack. I'm not gonna lie, this episode analysis has me worried, and I have been putting off writing the script. This is such a pivotal episode for so many of our characters, and especially Nick. There are so many emotional moments that make it hard to analyse without taking the beauty out of it. So, without more procrastinating, let's dive in and take a look at episode 3, Kiss. Nick. The episode opens where Crush left off, with Nick hitting enter on his search. And what he finds is just heartbreaking. Being so unsure about what you're feeling and reading all of that would bring anyone to tears. The research leaves him still spaced out at school the next day, and so deep in thought that Imogen unintentionally takes advantage of Nick to get an invite to the party. Nick completely misses that Imogen is attracted to him. He stays lost in his thoughts until he realises that the whole change room is talking about him. And the two girls he could get with. He sort of plays along until he sees what it does to Charlie. I was wondering why Nick didn't shut down the Tara talk like he did with Imogen.
Nick's got a thing with Imogen now anyway.
No, I don't.
And I think it's because of his current fears. From his research, he is afraid to even start to speak up, as he's worried about the hostility that might come his way. He can say no to liking Imogen because he knows her, and knows that he is not interested in her any more than being a friend, no matter what Imogen might think. But if Nick shuts down the Tara questioning as well, the comments about
he has two proper fit girls trying to get with him, and he's not even bothered,
will ramp up for sure, and Nick doesn't want to and is worried about dealing with the ribbing or bullying that could come from that. I'm wondering if in that moment, Nick is kind of hoping that he might have a thing for Tara when he sees her again, because that would be easier than all of the confusion he is dealing with. But the moment he looks at Charlie's hurt face, he knows he's done the wrong thing for the one person that is really starting to matter to him. This prompts him to invite Charlie to the party, basically asking him out.
Do you want to go to Harry's party? With me?
Nick's research continues at the party when he talks to Tara. Honest Nick comes to the table, and Tara feels the need to tell him about Darcy. Why she opens up to this basically random stranger, we'll never know, but it allows Nick to see someone kind of like him that's happy. One final piece of research is when he sees Tara and Darcy kissing on the dance floor, out in the open and happy. This beautiful moment showing him that happiness can be found in a room full of people and no one hurt them. He starts looking for Charlie immediately. Charlie takes a backseat to Nick in this episode, but he has some very important and fun moments. Fun moments first. Trying not to look at Nick while they're changing. How over the moon he is that Nick asked him out to the party. Charlie and Nick running into each other at the party, and the slight awkwardness as they both don't know what to do. Nick's excitement about Charlie dealing with Ben and holding his hand, and Charlie staring at it when Nick doesn't let go. Running up the stairs.
I'm dying! It's 'cause you're old!
The important moment is when he runs into Ben. An upset Charlie has just walked away from Nick, who looks to be having a good time with Tara, when he runs into Ben in a deserted corridor. Ben immediately goes in for the intimidation tactics, trying to physically move Charlie into the corner and says,
Have you finished talking about it?
Charlie tries to walk away, and when Ben grabs him, he reacts so strongly and forces Ben into the wall with so much anger that it shocks himself. He's so happy that he has to share it with Nick. And Nick is so genuinely proud of Charlie that he forgets himself and grabs Charlie's hand in support. Kiss. This episode is called Kiss, and there are two very important kissing moments that happen. The first is Tara and Darcy, and the second is Nick and Charlie. Tara and Darcy's kiss on the dance floor is a celebration of their relationship. It shows the comfort they have with each other, and that they are prepared to take the next step together and go public. There is one tiny moment that I love, and that is the little nods between them before they kiss. The consent to act is always present in this show, and this is such a simple and beautiful way to show it. The feeling of a celebration is so potent that it drives Nick to find Charlie to share his newfound joy. Nick and Charlie's first kiss, on the other hand, is at the complete other end of the relationship spectrum. The kiss is awkward and a little unsure. They're sure they want to be there, but neither of them is quite sure what it means. The scene plays out slowly, with Charlie forcing it along. Charlie is determined to find out where Nick stands, so Charlie can know for sure. All the guessing for an overthinker must be doing his head in. Charlie goes on a fishing expedition and asks all the tough questions, and Nick, to his credit, is very honest with his answers. It might not be easy for him, but he doesn't lie to Charlie in the face of questions like,
"Would you go out with someone who wasn't a girl?
and
Would you kiss someone who wasn't a girl?"
he cannot always maintain eye contact when he is thinking it through, but he always looks directly at Charlie when he answers. So much courage from him. We get Charlie's little movements towards Nick, and Nick not pulling away. Sparks and flowers flying, and we finally get the ever-important consent that, yeah, Nick would kiss Charlie.
Yeah.
There might be fear and a lot of confusion in Nick's eyes, but when Charlie moves in, Nick is ready and waiting. After they pull apart, it's Nick that reaches out to Charlie. Nick can finally and deliberately hold Charlie's hand, like he so desperately wanted to in the last episode. It also shows that no matter what else he is thinking, he wanted to be here with Charlie. After the second kiss, Charlie asks,
"You okay?"
We can see that Charlie is happy, but Nick is still looking a little freaked out. This awareness from Charlie, when he must be over the moon to have just kissed Nick, speaks volumes. He knows that this is all new to Nick, and even with Nick's consent, it has to be a shock to Nick that he actually kissed a boy. Given what happened to him, Charlie would be very aware of not wanting to take advantage of Nick while he was confused, and would do anything to make sure Nick was okay, in a way that didn't happen for him. Before Nick can put his thoughts together and answer, they get interrupted. Aftermath. Nick full-blown panics and runs. We will get into Nick's headspace more in the next episode. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss it. For now though, we see Nick running away from Charlie, and Charlie breaking down. For Nick, he was just starting to process what had just happened, but Harry's interruption is too much for him. His fear of Harry and his mates finding him there with Charlie is more than he can cope with on top of everything else he is feeling. He then says what he has to get rid of his friends, and realises his mistake, rushing back to find Charlie. But Charlie is gone. Again. For the second time in the episode, my heart breaks as Charlie cries into his dad's shoulder. This poor broken boy thinks he just screwed up the best thing he had going for himself. It gets even worse when he wakes up and has no new messages from Nick. His dark thoughts then encroach, with him reimagining what Nick said to him in that room.
"Would you kiss me?"
Charlie is so prone to going to a dark place, especially when it comes to his attraction for Nick, but seeing it play out is so hard to watch. But, as if on cue, there's a knock on the door to pull Charlie out of his thoughts, and Nick is there, rain-soaked, and saying hi.
Hi. Hi.
This episode is a roller coaster of emotions, with heartbreak twice, hope, joy, fear, and courage. All in all, a fantastic and beautiful episode. Not surprisingly, it was at this point that I knew this show was quickly becoming one of my all-time favourites. Please click the subscribe button so you don't miss the next episode of Heartstopper Analysis. And as always, thanks for watching. And let's see what other secrets we can uncover next time on Nerdy Investigations.
Charlie, can you get the door, please? Look at the postman.
No post on Sunday.